Hi guys! It's April and I am so sorry. I am running on I don't know what kind of time right now. A little bit of a coffee snafu. As in I didn't have coffee and I needed to unsnafu that. Um I have not done any of my social media I'm live things right now, so I'm going to do that very, very quickly while I sit here and I babble at you because I need to keep you entertained, right? So you don't leave me. And we're going to be figuring out how we're going to be coloring this page. I have a couple of reference photos, and of course, I have this color swatch thing from Sarah Renee Clark's Color Cube. I think it's volume 2, if I remember correctly. But I will get into that as soon as I share this out everywhere so that people know in case they're not subscribed. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put it over here as well. One more place. And then we will be good to start. I did do a poll over on the community tab asking you guys what I should color with as least as the base marker layer. And I will let you know the results of that. It kind of went the way I expected it to go because it always seems to go this way. But at the same time, you know, I feel bad taking an option away because it's always the option that ends up winning. Um, so I put up a poll over on the community tab asking if we wanted to do the new Pantone markers, Fiber Castell Artist Pit pens, any watercolor markers, or any water-based markers. And it got really close there for a little while between the Faber-Castell Pit pens and water-based markers. And hold on just a second, I have to bury the dogs. Yeah, you don't need a blankie. Here you go. Do you want your spot? Okay, good. Okay, and by bury the dogs, I just mean put them under blankets. Anyways, the winner of that ended up being the pit pens. And I think people are just fascinated by how you can get pit pens to work in scenarios like this, which I think is why that's constantly on the list of winners. Now, the next question, do I want to start with the owls or do I want to start with the very long and arduous task of figuring out the bark of this tree? Because that's basically the two elements of this photo. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the background. The background is obviously going to be last. That's how I always end up doing the background. Part of me wants to start with the tree trunk. And the only reason I say that is because I want to get the greens in place. And you can't really tell on this swatch, but I've got this darker green that I think I want to use as the base layer. This is all of my Fiber Castell colors, including the pits, the polychromos, the gold fabers, and my pastels. Because I didn't do a color chart for just the pit pens. I'd like to see them all. But I think I want to start with the green spots so I can figure out where the green is going to be on this. So some of the moss and the leaves and things like that. I want to start with that pop of green. So I'm going to, I think the closest I have is the 278, but I also don't want to go completely that deep. I want to have some variance on it. So I think I'm also going to pull the 174 and the 172. So I have some depth to play with. So I'm going to go and grab those real quick. 278, 174, and 172. I'm gonna bring this with me, okay? I'm going to continue to babble at you from afar because I can't carry all of my picks your direction. This is 278. Four. I can find 172. I have three of the same size of 174. Uh, hey, well, that's what you're gonna have to deal with because that's the size I have these colors in. Okay, so here's what happened while I stepped away for a hot second and confused the heck out of all of you. Is I found the three colors. I have two different 174s. I've got the new dual version of the marker, and I have the original brush tip. So at least three different size nibs for that one. I only have 278, which is the chrome oxide green, in the big brush. So that's going to be interesting. And then this lighter earth green, which was 172, I've only got in the smaller brush tip. Oh, and the 174 is, what is this name? Chromium Green Opaque. And I think I don't, maybe I don't. Combos. Ah, yes. I was hoping I had color cards for you because I want you guys to see what colors I'm using, and I don't want to constantly have to. Okay, so 174 and 172. There's the 174. There's the 172. And then the 278. Okay. Now that we've got that sorted, I'm going to take a small gulp of coffee. Oh, that's good. I'm going to try and do this in a way where I don't bleed through to the other side, but just in case, I'm going to have a sheet of paper back there. I think I want to clip that. Where are my clips? Just so it doesn't move around on me too much. Let's leave it. Man, now I got stuck. Let's leave that out. Okay. Sorry about all of the shenanigans. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use these three colors. I think, at least for these leaves, I'm going to use the Chromium Green Opaque, the 174, as the base. And like I said, I'm not going to be too perfect on this right now because I am going to come back with colored pencil. I'm also pulling out to 78 so I can get a little of the dimensions started. Trying to be somewhat careful with this base layer. I'm going to pull 172 out and maybe get those edges just a little bit. Then I'll let those dry a little bit and see if I need to go back in and do some of the shading a little darker or not. But I also want to double check before I do that next layer that I'm not bleeding through the other side. we'll unclip that real quick. We're getting close, but I think we're okay. It's always interesting trying to be delicate with very chunky marker. Okay. And that's kind of how we'll start doing some of these leaves. Pull out the 172. We're not going through down there either. Quick double check. Oops. Okay. I think for the more mossier bits, I want to start with the earth green, which is 172 as a base, and then do some of the darker tones with the chromium green opaque, which is 174. Kind of and I'm using the finer brush tips for this. This might actually be too closely related to get the depth I want. Which means I'm probably going to come back through with the 278. But maybe I'll just map everything with these two first. This is the stage in the process where it can be a little looser and a little more artistic. I'm not completely concerned about the details, at least not yet. I mentioned wanting to go a little darker in some spots. We're going to pull out 278. See what kind of depth we can start to add. Okay, I'm going to come back with 174. Okay. To decide if any more spots I want to give a little bit of a mossy look to. Mm, I think for the most part, we're okay. The real question is, do I want to start with the colored pencils next? Or not? I don't think I want to. I actually think I want to do their beaks and their eyeballs. I'm doing the smallest parts first and working out from there because I know keep hitting the camera and I'm sorry about that. When I get to the bark and stuff, it's gonna get really repetitive for a little while. So I want to get those little pieces done first. So I want to give a little bit of an amber look. So we'll probably use that lighter brown a little bit and then back up out of that. So I'm actually kind of thinking these two colors right here. So that's 184 and 268. 268 is the one that kind of matches this the most. And then I'm wondering if I should pull the 186 as well, because I can use all of those same colors in the beak, but I can lean the beak with a slight orange tinge to it. So I'm going to pull those three out. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I will try and keep my shenanigans going so you can hear me. 180. Oh, this is in the brown. 184. 68, I mean. Ah, there's 184. 68. Both. 184, 268. Lost my train of thought. Need 186. I think that's the one. No, it's not. 186. Have it. That is okay. That is okay. Okay, I'm back. So I have 186 just in the traditional brush size, which this is terracotta. I have the 184 in the big brush, which is the dark Naples ochre. And then I have two of the 268, right? Which is green gold. I have it in the traditional brush and in the dual brush sizes. Let me get my cards out. So what would we say? 186 and 184. We've got 184. Where the heck did I just put the color card though? Who knows? Okay, and then 268? Is that what I said? Yes, 268. Huh. Well, I'm sure I'll re-find that color square. Where the heck would I put that? You ever have that moment where you're like, am I losing my mind? Oh, there it is. Don't want to misplace this. Okay. So I'm going to use the 184 and 268 for the eyes. I'm going to use 184 as the base color. And yes, I will come and re-add the white later. Okay. Now I want to use 268 as the base for the beak. And come in with the 186. Try and blend it with the 184. Here's the big question. Did I just overwork those couples of spots in a way that means nope, it did not bleed through. You can start to see a little bit of shadowing, but not really. That is good. So the interesting part is the 268 here. A lot more like that than the actual 268. Wonder if I really need to redo this chart because the colors have faded out just a touch. I'm wondering if I should pull 180 instead. See what it looks like on here. Oh yeah, 180 is a better match right now. So let me go find the 180 real quick. Where would I be? 180. Umber. Oh gosh. Okay, so 180 is raw umber. And okay, so I think, how long ago did I make this chart? Okay, so this chart was probably made back when I got my pastel colors, which might have been a year ago. Because the pastel line is the last line I got, but it might be over a year ago. I don't quite remember when I got the pastels. So, well, and like I said, this chart has just been used for so many different experiments at this point that yeah, I need to redo this chart. But that is a project for another day. So this is the raw umber. I'm going to get one more layer of color in there. There we go. I also think that the raw umber is going to be some of the lighter spots in the wood, the bark, excuse me. And I'm probably going to use it a little bit in the owls as well, but I don't quite want to get that started just yet. I think that's going to be next time's project because I don't have all the time in the world today, even though I kind of wish I did. Actually, this is all the time that I have today. We got a little bit done, but Kirby's always one of those ones where you're gonna be here for a while. Look at this. Boop, boop. So that is something. Maybe I'll start the owls in the Jiminy Christmas. I keep hitting the camera. I apologize. The owls will be coloring in those owls will be next weekend's project. We have been at this for about an hour. And I do, okay, there is something I have to explain real quick. So right here, you can see that the caps are two different colors, whereas right here, the caps are just black. Originally, these dual markers, the dual pits come in only the black. But I do have a set of the Faber-Castell watercolor markers that are the exact same body as these dual tip PITT pens. And those ones actually come with colored caps. So what I did is if I had the color in both the PITT dual pens and the watercolor markers, the Faber-Castell watercolor markers, I switched one of the caps so that I could lay them this direction and see from this cap what color it was. So that's why this one has the actual color cap and the rest of them do not. In case you were curious, I don't know if anyone was curious about that, but I just thought I'd let you know. Anyways, I'm going to stop babbling. I am going to get a picture of this so you can see some of the detail and some of the true colors of what this is, and I will get it up for you to look at. Also, if you are not subscribed, I highly recommend that you subscribe because I put up a reminder somewhere between midweek to the end of the week that I'm going to be going live and what day I'm going to be going live on the weekend and what time. So then you can set a notification reminder. But I do also always, of course, post when I am going to go live on Threads and Instagram. So you can follow me over there as well if you want one of those instant reminders. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to call it good for the day. If you guys have any suggestions on how I should continue this page, please let me know. But I do hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I see you in another video.